Okay, let's get started. We're missing Rochelle. Oh, maybe she's coming. So can you please go around the table and say who you are so that Sarah knows who's here?
I'm Blair Wayman. I'm representing Athens since Craig can't seem to make these meetings, so here I am.
You're better fun than Craig is anyway. So.
Make sure it's not
Connie from the Athens and the Mountain Vet Center.
Sarah from Shea Creations and Company.
Lisa from Rise and Shine.
Terry Manhatter.
Becky Williams from the Spalding Memorial Library.
And Kyle from Gannon Associates Insurance and Monaco Entertainment.
And nobody's online?
Nope. Yeah, no, we're good.
Sarah Watson, you're up. Birthday girl.
I didn't get the agenda, so I'm sorry.
There's copies there.
Set the minute.
Do you want a copy, Terry?
They went out a couple weeks ago and then I resent them yesterday.
So,
Sorry.
do we have anybody who wants to approve the minutes from last month?
I'll approve it.
Do we have anybody to second them?
I'll second.
So Sarah approves them. Becky is going to second them. Do we have everybody in agreement?
Yep.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Okay, let's give Rochelle a moment.
Carry that. You're on.
I thought I could. So you'll get it over with. You don't have to worry about it.
Right. Okay, well, you're not going to get 10 minutes out of me, but I'm Terry from Mad Hatter Cafe. And I opened the cafe 7.5 years ago because there was no place locally that you could get healthy foods and options. My family doesn't eat processed food. So there was no place that we could go and eat and feel okay about it. So we opened the cafe, I opened the cafe in a 2-week period of time.
Wow.
Yeah. I looked at the place and told my husband 2 days later I was renting it, and 2 weeks later I opened.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it's been fantastic and better than I ever dreamed it would be. So, my mission for the cafe is a place for everybody and anybody. And anybody can go and find something that they can eat that fits their lifestyle, and anybody can feel at home. So we welcome people from all walks of life, and we also make it easy for people to come in if they're in need. So the cafe has always given super coffee to anybody that asks at no charge, and without making soup or coffee.
Oh, soup or coffee.
Yep.
Super coffee.
So anybody in need at any time can come in and just ask for something to eat, and we give it to them. And we have a lot of people, and we ended up feeding quite a few families throughout COVID.
I'm sure.
And and a lot of older people in the neighborhood we've fed for years. So, and let's see. So after 5 years downtown, I decided I wanted a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I went for a walk one day, and this place had a price reduced sign out front. So I made a bid, and to my surprise, they took it. So then I had to buy a building. So this is the old Oddfellows building, and it was built in the late 1800s. And after I bought the building, I found out that this lot was part of the original, and it's in the original deed that as long as this building is standing, this tree cannot be disturbed.
Wow.
So the neighbor who owned this lot at that time thought that they needed to be back together again. So he let me buy this for practically nothing and put the two pieces back together again. And the Oddfellows were an organization that was put together to spread neighborliness and cheer. And it's in the original deed that this lot and this building can never be used for religious or political purposes. So, and it can always it's a place for everyone. So I thought that was kind of
Fits right in
perfect.
with your mission statement.
Yeah.
Not to mention, we love that tree.
I love that tree. It's really outstanding. Yeah, it's quite a tree. So then COVID came along a year after I opened. So we got in a mad rush and we put in the outdoor seating out here. And that got us through the summer last year. And then we started the family style dinners that we do now. That got us through. And plus we made a lot of dinners that we gave out over through everything. And let's see.
You want to talk about the co-op side?
The co-op side has changed many times over the years. It started with a lot of little things from local artisans, but then there was all these other places popped up doing the same thing. So I switched out to only unusual things that no one else had from local artisans. But then they too started making their way into other places, and Terry always has to be a little different. So I switched out and I partnered with Natural Life because you can't be there can only be one retailer within so far, so I knew nobody else is going to have Natural Life. And I love the stuff and I traveled for it myself. And I find some other things here and there, and then I still keep a few select things in there, like the apothecary, because I too am an herbalist, so it works really good to have her things in here. And of course my daughter's artwork and Vanessa's artwork and the local pottery and let's see. Oh, and I still use local breads only. I have a local person who bakes all my breads. I source as much locally as I absolutely can. And if I can't get it locally, I get organic through Linda over here. So next coming up for the cafe, we're launching more classes. We've just started our art classes back. I partnered with Project Grow and did the cooking classes for the last 5 years. They'll be coming back, but I'm going to do them on my own this time, not with Project Grow. And they've always been free to the community. Children sign up and they get to come in and cook in a commercial kitchen, which is really fun for them. And we're going to do more herbal classes. And we've been renting the space out more and more for different people to do their own classes and stuff. It's nice to have an outdoor space this time.
Right, these are beautiful.
Thank you.
What's your plans with the stage?
The stage, we have music. So anybody can come at any time and play music. We encourage minstrels. And if you come and play music, you get free drinks. Right. So for as long as you're here. And we do have several people that come and play quite often. It's really nice.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, and then we have, when we have events, we have live music also.
Questions? Anybody for Terry?
Well, awesome.
Go, Becky, go.
Well, I love my herbs and I love cooking with my herbs.
Yes.
Do you foresee something where people come and maybe learn how to make a dish and take the herb home with them, or?
That is part of I have a class planned that is that, because I specialize in culinary herbalism.
Oh, wow.
So that's why the soups and stuff here are a little different. I use the fresh herbs and everything here and incorporate it and make everybody a little bit healthier without them knowing it. Okay. So I'd like to do some classes the same way and feature a set herb that I have an abundance of at that time, and do a class and teach you how to make some different things and give you a little pot. And
so are you, you have a web page, you have a Facebook page?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, we mostly update the Facebook page because the web page I have to have help to do. That's too hard.
And what are those? Where can people find that Facebook page and web page?
Mad Hatter Cafe and Co-op on Facebook and madhattercafeandcoop.com. Yep.
More questions? Anybody? You know what your first class is going to be?
No, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay. Well, keep us posted.
Yeah, I know we're going to work on food preparation or meal prep.
Excellent.
That's one thing we've had a lot of requests for.
So I want to tell you that the Giggy kids came for the Project Girl cooking class.
Yes.
I got to tell you, they loved it. Cyril was kind of shy.
Yes.
Oh my gracious, he turned out to be the little culinary king.
Cyril had his own little group at the end that he took control of on his own, and they were
Young teenagers.
Yeah, and they were two boys that were very hyper and very unfocused, and he was great with them, and he could keep them right focused. And I could just give him a sheet and say, "Okay, you guys do this,"
That's wonderful.
and he would
loved
handle it. It was really good, and it was good for him.
I
Yeah,
love seeing
Yeah.
kids get into cooking and,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
learning about what they're eating and
Right.
get
Yeah.
away from the processed crud.
yeah, and that was the point. There was all these kids that were walking by the cafe on their way to the library.
Okay.
They were coming from school and going to the library, and their classes at the library were like at 5 o'clock.
Yes, the game.
And they were coming from school. They haven't had lunch since 11 o'clock in the morning. And they're going by and they're stopping and they're buying a bunch of crap at the Dandy. And then they're going there and they're there until 6, 7 o'clock and then go home for dinner
Yeah.
with nothing
Right.
decent to eat in between. So we started with some healthy snacks that they could stop and grab.
Mhm.
And then I started the cooking classes and they could stop and learn how to make their own healthy snack and then take some with them. So
That's great.
You
Yeah.
have found the need and you're filling it. That's marvelous.
Yeah.
That's why you're successful.
yeah,
That's great.
thank you.
That
Great.
for it?
Thank you, Terry.
Yeah. And you made 10 minutes.
And you didn't have to tell me to stop.
We didn't have to cut you off. Okay, Rochelle is next, and she's not here still. She's not. Kyle, you want to talk about the summer concert series? And I was to remind you.
Sure. Got all the sponsors in. Banner's been ordered. Took me a little bit of figuring out. Had some issues with this print. Figured it out. There's I was planning on getting one as well.
That's
Email her. That's just order details. Use the card, one of the new cards for
Yep.
it. So I figured
great
the
price.
receipt's probably good. So sponsors, all that's taken care of. The big thing that we need now are the 50-50 volunteers. Need somebody for each night. Got Adam Bennett offered to do his night. I don't even know if we have him active dues at the moment, but
He kind of gets a little extra grace because they paid in December, remember?
right. Well, I mean, in there, we treat them like a member that whole
Yeah.
year too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was just them being late last year too. So
Yeah.
Right.
So we can
like,
pick
right,
on
I
him.
was gonna
He
say, like,
always
he'll
pays.
probably like
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything being an issue there.
How many are open, Kyle?
All but 2 right now. I can do a second one eventually, but gigs are picking back up for me. I know I've made that.
I can do my week.
At the beginning when I started running for president, that things are going to get busy, and I wasn't going to be able to do a whole bunch of like as much as Kim did. And then COVID hit, and all those gigs and stuff stopped. So I have had a little bit more, and it's starting to get busy again. So,
Yay.
I have to check at the library because I
I
work
know.
Thursday nights, but I have to see if somebody's available to come and do that for you. So I'll get back to you.
Yeah. So Adam's gonna do his.
Perfect.
Like I said, I would do it too. I was planning on doing it last year, but we didn't have it. The year before, I tried not to do it, but it rained and it canceled, so I never did learn how to do it. So I need someone to show me
Oh,
how you go about doing it, where you get everything and where you take it back to. And
it was wonderful.
Everything.
Tiffany did it with me a couple of times, and she's shy. And I got to tell you something, she was all over the place. And she was getting funny. I mean, I couldn't believe it, you know. So yeah, it's
yeah,
very
especially with that crowd.
Yeah.
The tickets sell themselves.
Yeah.
They'll,
Oh, they
they'll
do.
flag you right down, like, come here, I want to buy you the tickets. It's
I take
It's-
my mother every week at all of them, so yeah, I know it goes really easy for selling them. I just wasn't sure about measuring them and where you go so you can sit and count it and
so
where you turn it into and all that stuff.
the week that we had it, we got the tickets prior to that, and we had
Okay.
we had several of them measured out.
Yeah,
so
they
that we
usually
could just
sell the
rip them right off. And I know that sounds stupid, but what else do you do to live it up, right?
Well, one lady told me they measure them ahead of time and they already have them ripped off.
Uh-huh.
So,
We did.
yeah.
So the roll is at the center in the box of
Oh, you're
ABA stuff.
okay.
Yep. And I can't help out because the center's actually open for anybody who wants to get out of the heat but still listen to the music.
That's great.
So if you guys need to come in and count the money
So
or
we can wear
anything,
it
you can
out,
use
okay.
one of the back rooms. Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Okay. And then afterwards, we can leave the money with you?
That's fine.
Is that what we do? I know
I
they used
think
to
they
take it to the
usually
bank.
just put it right in the bank night deposit.
Yeah.
There's a bank deposit.
Yeah.
Night deposit.
So there's a night
Bank.
deposit over there at the bank.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll have to take note to where that is.
So when we counted ours, the guy that led the band sat there and counted with us so that there was a check and balance to that. So
Uh-huh.
we knew, you know, if we had $250, 125 was going to the wind.
Uh-huh.
That's how we did it. We did it with the mic going.
That's great.
And it included the band, you know?
Mm-hmm.
not a
Yeah,
drum roll.
yeah.
Do you wanna do a couple together?
Yeah,
I'll do that night with you for yours.
okay.
And what other band do you like?
That's what
That's
wanna
the
sign
best
you
way to
guys
do
up?
it.
it sure is.
Sarah and
Did you get a lot of the returning bands that you used to have?
Let's see.
Yeah, we got a good number of
That's
them back.
wonderful.
We didn't do any double booking. That I couldn't. I can't do that. I'm
Right.
too
Somebody's hollering.
too
"Mom."
involved in
Oh,
the music
must be
Yeah,
across the
that's
street or
good.
something.
around the
What
area
other
to
one do you
tick
think?
everybody off by booking somebody
Order
twice. Because that really ticked off some bands. So that were like, well, what do you mean there's no room? I see you got 3 bands that are playing twice. What do you mean there was no room?
that's
Like
not
every
good.
year I'd get somebody reach out and have a comment. So
I don't think I know the rest of them.
So is the
Me
going
neither.
rate still 300? Is that what you get them?
depending, no, I talked it out with them.
Well,
and
let
looked
me
for
look at
better
my-
rates. So we are a little bit ahead on the music now.
Okay, so
That's it.
Then let other people fill in theirs then.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we'll
there's
just go back
certainly
and
Yeah.
couple,
pick
did a
another one
couple of
later.
solo acts.
That'll be
There's
fine.
no way a
Yeah.
solo we can be paying a solo act $300 for 2 hours. That's a 4-hour gig pay for a solo act at best, and that's I'd be pumped if I got a $300 4-hour gig. I mean, if you've got a good enough hall, enough of a crowd that follows you around.
Rochelle said that she is at home sick. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Problem.
Does she want to come on
I don't think so.
her voice to talk about
I don't think so.
the give back?
Maybe I'll.
Do you want to introduce yourself? And
I'm Donna Yale. I'm with Yale. I recently retired from Penn State, so they decided I needed to be the one to represent. So here I am. So I was part of the Central Bradford Chamber of Commerce, and we did a lot of programs through them, and so I'm interested in helping where I can. So
well, welcome. Okay, so we are up to voting on beautify the borough. Do we still not have anybody online with that?
Correct.
So the sheets are going around. We had 3 entries.
Oh, yeah.
Has everybody had a chance to look at them yet?
I looked at the names.
Who hasn't had a chance to look at them besides Donna?
Blair, I loved the pictures you did this weekend with the kids. We were like, tried. We also have 4, so.
Some days are better.
Yeah. No, I love it.
So how many, please raise your hand if you're in favor of number 1.
wanna hold one up again?
Flash them again?
There's number 1.
I'm number 1.
Yep, there's number 2. Raise your hand if you're in favor of number 2.
Yeah,
Still on
I
one?
was 1, she's 1. Yeah.
Okay, number 2, which is the yellow one.
Right, number 2 is the yellow one, right?
That had a 2-pager.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you number 2, Blair?
Number 2.
This is what pictures that
So
it was
pretty.
here, is it?
Beautiful. Yeah.
And number 3.
They were all so pretty.
Right.
Tough
Good
call.
job.
They're all pretty.
Sarah, did you,
I'm gonna go back. I'll go one.
for one?
Yeah.
How'd that split up?
Huh?
How'd that?
3-2-3. So I guess I'm the tiebreaker.
All right.
Or the people that voted for two can.
Yep, 2. Do you
Yeah.
want to revote?
Yeah, the people. Who
Okay.
1 or 3?
I'm gonna go with one.
I'm going with one also.
Okay.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 2 of the 3 were my neighbors and I really didn't want to have to vote.
They were all beautiful.
They did a great job.
Yes. What's really funny is I noticed that we did this and a lot of people actually participated, but didn't
Right.
submit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, because I walk all the time around the area and I was like, oh, they did theirs. And I was like, oh, great. I hope they remember to enter.
So the
Next time I'm going to knock on people's
So
doors.
number one was Mrs. Smith, right?
Donna, yes. Yes. Good. Good
It's
memory.
not a bad idea next year to knock on doors. Hey, you did a great job. Were you entering the contest?
Exactly.
Or leave a
Someone
little thing on
posted-
their posted on their
Yes.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone posted pictures yesterday or 2 days ago, one of my girlfriends, about their portrait, and I like added her real quick to the group. I was like, hey, there's this thing.
Number 1.
Thank you.
So here was what they added about their submission. Donna said it may not be the prettiest front porch, but it is one of the best views in town. Donna's house faces the river. Number 2 is right there on the corner. We live on the corner of Pine and North Main, and both porches always have a simple patriotic look. Though not easily seen in this photo, our son's military flag shows in the photo in the distance between the trees. And then Sheena said, we love our family-friendly porch. And I can guarantee you they use it all the time. I will let Donna know.
Now what does she win?
So she wins a gift certificate from Robinson's,
A hanging basket,
a custom-made hanging basket, and then
a wreath of her choice from the show.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
Very
a
nice.
custom-made wreath and hanging basket.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay. So I would speak to what Rochelle was going to talk about for CNN Give Back, but I have no idea what she was sharing besides the attachment that I sent along, which outlines how much CNN has given back since 2015. So this should be in everybody's email. It was one of the attachments. So 2015, CNN gave back $50,250 in monetary donations, 6,583 item donations, and 111 volunteer outings. Goes on, each increases except for 2018. And 2020, they did the fight against hunger with supporting food banks. Did everybody have a chance to look over the treasurer's report? We had a beginning balance of 3209.75. We paid out 475 to Sayer Theater in expenses. And do you want to talk about?
Sure. So ladies' night out went all right. We ended up bringing in $672 and paying out $475. So we made just under 200. We had about 37 people come to the event. Things to do better next time would be to offer pre-sale tickets. But with the theater being closed, I knew that that would have ended up being an all on me thing. People and I just did not have. I'm a board member for Arts for All and things like that. And I just at that time frame would not have been able to handle that as well. But pre-sale would have gone really well. Now, of course, the theater is reopening July 1st and we're at 50% capacity right now. Back then we were at 25% capacity, so we could only have 86 people in the theater. So we were just under half full of what we could have there.
And at the last minute, didn't you have an event come in to take one of the smaller theaters? Isn't that what you said to me, that somebody else?
We did have an event in one of the smaller theaters, but that was there. We could only watch Mamma Mia in one event or in one in
right.
the big theater.
But that could have been part of the poll, was those people going to the other event.
I don't. It was just a private party.
Okay.
But so it was good. We ended up having 15 basket raffles, which I thought was a nice thing, and they were all donated. And all but one has been picked up and taken care of. So, so yeah, I thought it went well. Like I said, I think it was really pushed that it was limited seating, and I wonder if that might have, because we didn't do the pre-sales, if that maybe made people, they didn't want to come and be turned away.
Right.
When we did popcorn sales that day, I had a lot of people stop by and ask if they could buy their tickets then, and I was like, no, because if
They're probably gonna-
right, but I didn't want to tell one person yes when we told people on Facebook earlier in the week. No, I just was like, we can't, I just can't do that. So, but it went well. We had Sarah Watson joined me there, and then my kids got to experience, what being open was like for a brief moment. So it was, and I mean, everyone really loved it. Everyone was really happy. They did Mamma Mia, and it was good, and it was fun, and I mean, I was a bit bummed that it wasn't a bigger turnout, but it was there
was still a lot of people who weren't going
right
gatherings too,
right.
so, but
I thought it
think
was
doing it again next time, it'll go much better, I bet
Yeah.
you, especially if you do pre-sales.
so
anytime you can come out ahead is a great break even and come out
Absolutely,
ahead.
yeah, and if you can break it, if you can come out ahead during COVID times, then you
Right.
did great.
And it's been closed for so long.
Yeah,
People get out of the habit.
yes. So, but it was, and it ended up being a really nice weekend. So I don't, you never know what all the different factors would end up being with things, but
and you
It was
posted
good.
online at the last minute, letting people buy their tickets for the raffles through you. That was helpful.
yeah, we ended up
I
getting,
couldn't go, but I could buy raffle tickets through
we ended up
you,
getting
so,
$85 in raffle tickets through Cash App at
Yeah.
the last minute.
Good.
That's great.
I was like, sure, we'll do it, and, but so it went well, and I was happy, but, I know what we can do more next time. And thank you to you and you for your very kind messages about me being sad that it wasn't a bigger
I
thing.
think it was
So-
successful.
It was.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thanks. So,
Sarah Watson, do you want to talk about, Rochelle told me on Friday, you have a great idea.
Sarah, sorry, because you don't know about that, and I stole it from your Facebook page.
oh Lord.
Do you want this chair and I can go down there?
No, it'll just,
Panic.
it's really quick. But so for B2B, Rochelle and I met. A lot of the businesses have a hard time getting out here for the 2:00 meeting. So we've been reaching out to some of them. We sent a letter to them. I like doing this for resumes. So we reached out, and like I said, I stole this off of Sarah's. So it's just real,
No idea what we're doing. So this is great.
it's just real rough. I put it together really quick just to show it to Rochelle as an example of what we can do for businesses. So that way we can present people's businesses.
Oh, Lord. Was my store flooded?
So cute. It is super cute.
Super cute.
And then we can do it in all sorts of different themes and stuff. So that way the letter just asks businesses for just a bunch of different information, obviously. You know, who's the owner, a little bit about their business, what they do, things like that. And then a certain number of pictures. Then we offer, if they can't do that, that Rochelle or I would come out, give us a day and time, and we'll collect those pictures and information from them so we could
That's great.
put this together. And then that way we could present it at the meeting and everybody would get to know the business. And then we could pass them on to you.
I'm all about it.
That's
I
great.
like it a lot. What did you use to make that?
iTunes trailers.
Oh,
iMovies trailer.
okay,
Yeah, and I do it for my students' resumes.
cool. I like it.
So talented. Yes.
I like it a lot.
There's so much talent in this community and people don't know it.
Yeah. Hidden talent.
Kyle, you're up.
I'm up for what?
Communications.
Okay. I've sent out the emails for social media content. Should have emails just for your different levels. I go into depth in each email what I'm asking for you. But if there are any questions, reach out to me. I really barely got anybody reaching out. Last time, so this month, my plan is to essentially take the people that were supposed to get the one post that they were supposed to give me. I'm going to go in and schedule a time to remind myself to go share a post of theirs if they've got one available and ready. But if not, then they're just going to miss the benefit, I suppose, for that one. Obviously, the ones that I'm signed up for writing, once you get to the silver, everybody gets that where I'm writing the post for you. But yeah, just make sure you get me that stuff. And then the newspaper doesn't sound like we have anything
I would
majorly
put,
pressing in June other than the bands.
well, and I would put Donna as the winner of the,
Oh, in the paper?
yeah, with a picture of her front porch. I can send you an email, Kyle.
Yeah, that works.
Did we get further with Becky's, with the thing at Mooney's? Was that supposed to be in June?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in June. When you're ready for me, I can tell you what happened.
Okay, but it's not gonna, okay.
So Kyle, anything else that,
Nope, just if I can just get those, I guess I have all the pictures
Mhm.
and right in the form.
and
Okay.
I would put it D Smith on South River Street. And no, don't make it too much information. Yeah.
Okay.
So the only thing on membership is if people haven't paid their dues, then as of today, we have to cut them off. Which we don't know who has and who hasn't because Rochelle's out sick. So I'll follow up later in the month to,
And it did show that there were some payments.
yeah.
Yeah, she's been sending me a lot of the applications.
Oh, good.
I've been keeping a spreadsheet and.
Is it in the Google folder?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect.
I haven't gotten new ones in probably a week and a half or so.
Okay.
But yeah, and just as a reminder for the nonprofits, please turn in an application even without your payment. I know you're free.
So we
but-
have the 3
Okay.
already turned in.
Okay, maybe I just haven't seen
So,
them yet.
so the center, Sweet Charlene's, and Penn York have all turned in theirs.
I don't know if I've seen them.
They're over in the center, in the folder.
Oh, so they didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where they. Okay, so I'll just get those from you then, and
Yeah,
so I can
that's-
just copy.
I think we had 20. I think that's where we wound up, somewhere around there. That was with, I think, without the 3. And then we got 2 more, so slightly under 20.
And there are a few I feel like
Adam.
Adam, like Mooney's, that they have been involved and have just kind of slipped off. Assuming the issues with Dave, he was the one that was engaging us,
Right.
and he left Mooney's, so that's I gotta assume the issue there. I'll go back through and I'll look through the contacts and the Gmail and kind of. I'm gonna clean that up too. So now it'll be 2020 members will be the only thing we need to send all of the correspondence
Yeah.
to, and then we'll make like a separate list of used to be members, but we want to keep them in the loop and poke at them every now and then.
Right.
But we can get rid of the 6 different member groups on the
Right.
Gmail account.
And I can give those people a call and say, hey, did you know
Alright.
your
yeah, that's
membership lapsed?
perfect.
So.
Yeah, and I can help with some of that too.
Real quick before we move to the street fair committee, Miss Becky, we got back in the middle of all of this craziness last month. We received back scheduling the park. So it had been with the borough and they were like, we're too busy, you can have it. So we're doing that scheduling now. And there is an event on the 26th of this month. It is for pets, some sort of fundraiser. And they're asking for a rain day. So I need to make sure whatever we have scheduled in July, I need that first, because obviously we've been talking about this for months.
Oh, the same night? Okay.
Do you have an alternate, Becky? Okay. Will you let me know if you guys?
And what is the July event?
It's gonna be a car show, it's a safety kind of thing. I gotta put that school in the back.
Your poodle skirt?
I was gonna say, is that,
It's not even.
what's the
cool,
band?
It just did, right? So, the hot rod, there's 2 hot rod clubs. They're pretty cool fun bands, but this white. And, we're gonna decorate the bandstand. Pull all out, make it fun. We're talking about, I think it's been okay. To, sell out little. And we're trying to get a hold of it.
Oh, fun.
So, there you go. So that's where we are with that.
Excellent. And who's the band that night?
That's one better scheduled. If you can't do that night, try to go the weekend before.
Okay.
Gypsies.
And the second.
Yeah, I think I'm done with it.
Oh.
Or it'd be good, unless something I guess I don't know for sure, but yeah, the weekend after Smith and Baker. I don't know, they're
They're
gonna be
not
new. They're not gonna follow
right.
that older crowd there, and then the other one in July is the End and the Crew. They're one I'm like, what will they think? I'm not sure, but they are new. They're a newer one this year, so they're not going to have the people that have
50s.
Right.
always coming out for them, each year. So the one better in Gypsies, those are returning bands. So the 15th or 8th would be best.
Okay.
But not totally necessary or required.
Oh, we just had.
What about August?
August is, let's see, August was
The chili.
the chili.
Do you have a date?
Right now, the August I'm not gonna scare.
No, I just want to lock it in so somebody doesn't come along and stomp on it.
Oh, so you're looking for the chili cook-off you're looking at Thursday too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We wanted to maximize, and correct us if this doesn't sound like anything, but we wanted to maximize the event. To have the crowd there, the Moran. We wanted to look like everybody. had it. You know what I mean? We understand that. So that's kind of what the thought process is. We could try for other nights. We're not gonna get.
Birthday school.
It's 26th is the first day of school.
First student day.
Oh, that could push for us.
I don't know. I know we don't go anywhere the first day of school.
That's one loud truck.
Think of the mic that I haven't used.
Like my kids are, they just like, my kids are too tired to do anything after being in school all day. Like,
Oh, they will. They wouldn't. You wouldn't drag
yeah,
them
but
down.
mine are still little too.
Okay.
Well, there's a whole different.
The moms have a million, kids don't have school homework, but the moms have a million paperwork, pieces of paperwork. to fill
There
out
you go.
rather than-
So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
I'm unsure why we still can't submit them online.
Okay.
I like, we shouldn't have to write the same address 4 times, but.
Becky, do you want me to hold the Thursday before instead now? The
You know,
18th? Yeah.
let's do that. May I borrow the pen one more time?
This is the pen right there.
Go ahead, it's your turn.
What is
Add
that date?
Two, and I mean,
19.
I could be wrong, but, I guess I was under the impression when we were talking about these events to begin with, that they were going to be, I guess, on the weekend. Like,
There's one that is up. That's the library.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have necessarily like a set preference, but that was just the impression I got when we had first discussed them.
The only thing we discussed about weekends was the library one being on Saturday. Possibly if there's a lot of people, we'll include some. So anyway, the fourth one is at the library, and that is there'll be a pop-up pantry there also, and it's books and a bonfire. And
Nice.
that's September 25th and possibly the 26th if we get a lot. We're going to have it so families will be able to reserve a block where they could sit. There's gonna be 3 different fire pits, and there's all kinds of things that are gonna happen for the kids there. Books are gonna be given away. Kiwanis is kind of involved with that at this point. So that's where we're at. Mooney's unfortunately reached out even to the Elmira Moonies, and it just got, yeah, basically. And I don't know if they have a manager in place yet, or one sticking or whatever, but they didn't want to. It might
Makes
be something
sense.
we can do later, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. It's a bummer.
That was a
Terrible
good
timing.
idea.
disappointed, very disappointed.
Any questions for Becky?
Just as a, not really a question, he's not a member, we need to, but another one to harass is, give me some new phone numbers. Tanner's, what's his name? Brian Wood, right?
I think so.
Brian, I'm sure on Wood, I'm
He
not.
was the,
Yeah.
he was the
Fine,
business
okay.
member of the year 2 years ago or whatever, yeah, it was,
Right,
yeah.
I mean,
Always helps the
we
kid
did that,
relate.
that's not a member award, technically,
Right.
that's a community award,
Right,
that's why
right.
we gave it to them, because they do the
A ton.
insane amount of
Absolutely.
fundraising over there, so it's still, right, that's the argument I'd make for that. Is
Yes,
we-
no, I
we-
just meant, we gave him that, we
Right.
still don't remember his name.
Right,
We both talked to him quite a bit, and I have no idea.
it's been a year and a half since I've had to
It's been
talk
a
to
rough
him,
year and
really.
a Lots has happened.
Right,
So just a couple things to cover that there's no action items or anything. This year, you remember we were gonna do the Valley Race. And that got postponed until 2022. Instead, there is on July 3rd, a fishing derby for kids. You may have seen it in the newspaper if you read the newspaper. And all 3 business associations are co-hosting it. So
where's
we're
that
out
gonna
there.
take place?
It's at
Riverfront
this,
Park.
yeah, no,
Where?
the Sayer
Oh,
Pond.
Sayer
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So by the way, the sign that says no fishing should not be there.
Right. So what was
because
the
it's
date
not
for
legal.
that again?
July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Great.
And they're giving away prizes for each age group. And then one overall big prize. There'll be food trucks, things to do. So teaching, fly, fishing, casting. So if you have kids under 13
Is that
and
the age
under,
Cutoff is 13.
I
and under?
believe so, yep. Yes. Or if you want to sponsor, let me know. Because they're looking for donations, not just cash, but, you know, coupons that you can give out for some sort of discount or something to put in a basket or whatever.
July 3rd. Is there a time? What time? Okay.
I think registration's at 8 and I think the fishing starts at 9:30, but don't hold me to that.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna be in the Bahamas, but my in-laws have my kids and they live right there. Like that's a
Awesome.
great idea.
Sayers
I
Street
might just
Fair is
switch
June
between my mom and
26th.
their mom.
The Railroad Association is doing something on that day as well. Downtown Sayer on the 26th. So if you're looking for
Put it in.
things to do.
We're good.
And we're still looking for people who will serve on the Valley Race Committee. There's a whole bunch of different committees. Some just require very little time. I should have a list for us by next month, kind of behind and pulling stuff together. But if you're interested, let me know.
Because we've reached our peak of joining.
Yeah.
What we can be.
Anybody have anything else they want to share? Okay. Terry, thank you. And thank you for letting us
thank
hold
you.
the space. Thank you. Nice to see everything open again.
Yeah.
And yes, we all have to go back to work now.
I'm on vacation.